In previous session, I told you basics of Java Servlet. Then we created participant login page with HTML. Then we created participant sign up and participant login. So participant sign up. What is the participant sign up requirements? We need to take user input from participant sign up page, name, their username, their password, and confirm password field. So in previous session for the admin page and for the security purpose, what I created, what I used, I just wrote a Java program. Using that, inside the Java program, I mentioned the list of admins and their password, system default passwords I'm going to create. So admin will require their system default username and system default passwords. So I'm not giving any changes for admin. Admin restrictions are very, I'm giving the restrictions to admin to use or stick to that username and passwords. But for the participants login, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take username from them only. I'm going to get password and confirm password field from there only. I'm not going to give some default participants or something. In everyday life, you can see the different websites also that's using this. And here I'm going to use this part. So for the participants login or sign up page, sorry, I'm going to create one Java Servlet store P. So what you can do is just go to source package here, right click new and create Java Servlet here. But always remember, in the further process, you have to mention that in the web.xml part, it will ask you want to add that part into web XML or not. But always remember, you have to add it to the web XML. As you can see in some part, let me open the web XML file here. So this is web XML. So you can see this is servlet, first servlet, validate AD, then store P. I created too many servlets. So these are mappings, servlet mappings and everything. If you are not giving any servlet mapping, the HTML file and our Java file or Java servlet file, it will not attach to anyone. So web XML is the attaching bolt, we can say, for the HTML and Java. So always remember, tick that part inside while creating the servlet. So let us see how we can create store P. So as I told you in the further, you have to ask for these requests. Now we are going to store this into the database. So we need one more thing, import java.sql. So these are the default library in Java, sql.star. You are going to use .star for the all libraries, include all libraries inside this, because I don't want to specify each and every library. So just put .star after everything, any library, you will get all libraries here. So after creating public class store P extends to HTTP servlet, because we are going to create HTTP servlet. Here I am going to use again do post method. Then this is, I am going to create HTTP servlet request, variable name as a request, HTTP servlet response, variable as a response, which throws IO exception and servlet exception. I told you earlier while creating admin admin validation part. So this is the response, set content type text.html. Why we are using this line? So in further, I'm going to put some HTML tags inside Java program, but Java doesn't know that is HTML or a text. If I'm not mentioning this, it will directly forward to the HTML page, and HTML shows that part with tag only inside the body. So it should be an HTML part. So I'm specifying this with tag. So create print writer statement, out is equal to response.getWriter. These are some default statements you are going to use here. So what I'm going to fetch is here, fetching data from psignup.html. I'm fetching from user. So I am fetching this data. I told you in earlier part also I created this. So I'm going to fetch this data from user only and from HTML part. So always remember your this name, p name, p username, p password. Remember these names and just give that names only. Don't change name or anything. Otherwise, you can just copy paste here that part. So these are created. You can directly use these names also here, but I'm going to assign in this to another string. So to remember A1, A2, A3, A4 is very quite equal, or we can say just for my comfort zone, I'm going to use this. So I'm going to assign to another strings. Just I'm putting this. I'm going to assign this to another strings. So no, this is not a very required part. You can exit that part and you can use only these parts only. But these are very specified name. I'm going to use A1 for username, A2 for password field, A3 for confirm password field. Why am I going to? I'm not storing confirm password field in database. I'm going to store only password field, but for the confirmation, I'm going to use this name to A4. I'm going to store A4 name also there. So if A2 means our password is equal to the confirm password, as you know, our password and confirm password should be same. What I'm going to do is try. So if I'm not using try, it will throw the SQL error inside this. So for exception handling, I'm going to use here try. Class.for name to invoke Oracle driver. As I told you, you have to invoke this Oracle jar file, Oracle JDBC 14 jar file. It will load using this part. Always remember string connection URL with JDBC Oracle thin. I'm going to create some default files and I will share that files also. So you can use directly. These are the system default. You can change to your user. If you created another user inside SQL, you can specify them and give the password here. So you can directly give this URL to this part, then password and system and everything here. But I'm assigning to the some strings and I'm going to tell this part. So I will just like username of database. I'm going to use system default database here, not I'm going to create password for system. So that's my password and everything. If you don't want to reveal your password or something, you can create text file and you can take that from the text file without displaying every information. But this is very complicated part inside this. Already this is SQL statements are very complicated, so I don't want to focus on that part, very complex part. So now we need to create connection. So I will put here create connection. So always remember while creating connection, what you are going to do. Connection, which is basically SQL part, SQL connection is equal to connection. I'm giving the variable just driver manager, Oracle driver manager dot get connection with which connection URL, specify user is this and password this is. So in SQL statements, you know, these are some SQL statements I'm going to tell you. As I told you, I'm going to disconnect this and I'm going to clear screen this first. What in SQL we are specify connect. So what is connect inside ID is? Connect ID is basically this connection with connection URL. As our Java doesn't know what is the connection URL. So this is the connection URL with the localhost machine. Connect. Now we are going to specify user, our system. Similarly, I told you, and with the password. So this is all about the connection SQL statements. So while doing in IDE, what we are going to use? We are going to use this statement. Now, what is this create statement? So we need to create one statement. Otherwise, it will not execute any statements or something. We know our SQL statements are different than Java. So we need to create one statements here. So use this connection dot create statements. Then I will specify this as a SQL statement. Mention this insert string, insert into p login details. Values are these. So this is all about the values, but you know the SQL statement command, or if you don't know, how we can insert in plogin details. Plogin details is basically creating the database. First, I will tell you how you can create the database. Creation of database is very simple. Just put create table. What we are going to use is here plogin details. These are values. Just copy this part. You can see Control C this part, copy. Just right click here. You can see this plogin details here now. Plogin details in CMD. Then this right click, follow all things. So first I am going to specify the username. Varchar for the string here. Mention the length of string. I am going to put it as 100. Password, but I will put like this password. Again varchar 2, basically for the string these, and then name varchar 2 with 500 I am going to specify. That's it. Exit with semicolon. Now you can see our table is created. Similarly, you can create another table for this plogin details in your SQL command line. For values, what I am going to enter A1 field for username, A2 field for password. I told you password, this password. A4 field for the name. So always remember for concatenate that A1, A2, A2. Otherwise, it will not execute. It will throw the exception, SQL exception. Use this single comma, then double inverted comma, plus sign, and insert this. Follow these rules. These are some really important things in this. Result set rs is equal to statement exit query QS. Then request dispatcher, this for executing query, like just you created but you are not pressing the enter. Similarly, like that you have to put this result statement. Then request dispatcher, if this is correct, go to plogin details. RD that forward, I told you, close this connection. This is very important. Catch exception, else it is not corrected. Like our A2 means password and confirm password fields are not equal. What it will print? It will print please enter password and confirm password same, and it will remain on that page only. So this is all about this. This is a very important part. I will put comment here also. Connection and storing into database. So that's it about the database. This is very simple. I'm going to store only. In further videos or tutorials, I'm going to tell you how you can validate participants with login information and everything. But let us deploy this first. So as I told you, for deployment, click run or click clean and build here. So let me open the output part here. If your output window is not showing, just go to window here and you can see output part here, or you can press Ctrl+4 here also. If your output part or anything is not showing here. So as you can see, Glassfish server is now currently running. So it will take time to run everything, and it will just show Glassfish is now running. In Chrome or your default browser, it will directly load that page. So as I told you, we created connection and everything here. So you can see Hibernate server is starting, Java Security Manager. Then these are some signatures are created inside this. So these are doing. So now our server is deployed on this. As you can see, our port is now changed 2002 Glassfish server. So as I told you, we have seen through the Glassfish and everything. First admin login. Now I'm going to specify only the participant login. As I click to participant login, you can see participant sign up and participant login page. I'm going to use participant sign in page. Here I'm going to put James name, username J101, password I'm going to specify 123. If I'm not specifying password 1234 and confirm password field as 4567, it will throw error. As you can see, please enter password and confirm password same. So now I'm going to enter everything. You can use CAPTCHA or some statements and different things here also. You can try with that part also. Then 1, 2, 3, 4. So as you can see, I moved to the participant login page. I already created participants, but in further videos I will tell you. So these are our saved information. How we can check our information is stored? So go to the SQL command line, print, use this statement, select star from this p login details. P login details, our table name. And as you can see, our James password and its username are stored. Always remember the sequence should be same. As you entering in Java file, Java servlet file, this A1 should be for username, A2 for the password, and A4 for name. If you want to put name first, then A4, and similarly you have to specify these also inside the run SQL command line. These username should be below and the name should be upper. So sequence is very important. Don't change the sequence. So that's it about the how we can store this part into the database. In further videos, I'm going to tell you how we can fetch that part and everything. And I am going to tell add event and more further parts also.